It's about to go down.
You are listening to WPRD 98.3 GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com and hosted by
You are listening to the incredible
Nova Phoenix and LK Mason.
Okay, we're going to get right into some music with Brittani Washington, Unhappy. She comes from a small town out of Texas, 100 miles from Houston. She is a pianist, but also she got into bass, drums, and guitar. And out of a contest of 5,000 women, she got to be picked to be a part of Beyonce's band, and she toured around the world. So you're listening to Brittani Washington, Unhappy.
After the beat, we will return your call.
So much that I let you know that I've gotta let you go. It's just too emotional, so I gotta hit the door. And I'm not gonna do it again. Can't make me love again. It's something I felt before. I left you 3 months ago. It's just too emotional, so I gotta hit the door. 'Cause I'm not going through it again. Can't make me love again. I'd rather be lonely than live life unhappy with you, baby. Can't let you drive me crazy. No, 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 no. I'd rather be lonely than live life unhappy with you, baby. With you, baby. Can't let you drive me crazy. It already happened. He already cheated. I heard lies before. Everybody cheating, and I'm not going to do it again. Can't make me love again. Gotta do better for me. Gotta do something for me. Gave him a lot of my time. Now you're not a part of my dreams, and I'm not going to do it again. Can't make me love again. No, no, no. I'd rather be lonely. I'd rather be lonely. Happy with you, baby. Happy with you, baby. Let you drive me crazy. No, 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 no. I'd rather be lonely. I'd rather live life unhappy with you, baby. With you, baby. Let you drive me crazy. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Let you drive me crazy. No, 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 no. Let you drive me crazy. No, 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 no. Let you drive me crazy. No, 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 no. I'd rather be lonely than live life unhappy with you, baby. Can't let you drive me crazy. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Happy with you, baby. Can't let you drive me crazy. Happy with you, baby. Can't let you drive me crazy.
I love them.
WPRD 98.3 GCOM Radio.
This is WPRD 98.3 GCOM Radio. This is your host, Nova Phoenix, and we have the lovely LK Mason right here. What's up, lady?
I'm ready to get into it. We got some wonderful, well, not wonderful.
Yeah,
Juicy.
not too wonderful, but
Yeah,
I say juicy
topics.
for this week. You know what I mean? This is episode
Yeah.
23. How you doing, though?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. Just a lot of things overlapping, and we missed putting up the episode 23 last week because some things have segued that took some importance. And you guys will, the listeners out there will hear it real soon on what we have planned for GCOM Radio. I think it's a wonderful next step. And you probably guys could piece it together if you guys follow me on IG on Twitter or whatever like that.
Like real soon?
Like real soon for Women's History Month. We're trying to really get it in. We missed Black History Month. That's, again, it is what it is. But want to do something for Women's History Month, and we do have a guest that's gonna be on the show soon, and some others. Yeah. So that's a beautiful thing, and I'm so charged that this is the next stage. We're hitting another milestone for me and you going forward, man. I think 2019 is going to be a really big year, honestly, and it's going to take us in a lot of different directions and levels. So I'm looking forward to it. So we gonna get this rocking and rolling. What we got going on for the first topic for the show? Jussie Smollett.
Yeah,
Jussie Smollett. Everybody knows him from Empire. So, everybody knows what's up with Jussie nowadays. All the news is out. Everybody lambasting him and getting on him. So, you know the deal. Jussie Smollett was doing his thing. He came forward saying that he was assaulted. Of course, it was based on race and attacking his gender. And two guys came out of nowhere, masked, knocked him upside the head, poured bleach on him, put a noose around his neck, and said, "This is MAGA country." Everybody knows what happened with that. Fast forward. The Chicago PD is saying it was fake based on their investigation because everything wasn't adding up from what they were gathering from interviewing him and some news footage, and it came out two Nigerian dudes were hired. It was all made up, and everybody was for Justin, and it was like a collective a big awe saying that he made this whole thing up. It was a stunt, supposedly because he wasn't getting paid money from the show, enough money from the Empire show. And everybody was coming out the woodworks. The social media gangsters was coming out, like, just tearing Jussie apart, and the jokes, the memes, the videos, people doing all types of things. Let's trash Jussie Smollett, because how could you make something up of this magnitude, especially when everybody was behind you?
Right.
Yeah.
People
and I was
so
behind
foolish. A lot of people spoke out on his behalf and, was defending him and saying, we got your back and everything. And so now everybody's feeling a little bit betrayed, a little bit deceived. But, he still does, I should say this, have the right to, as they say, his innocence until he's proven guilty,
Right.
Because some of the information that the police have put forth as well has been a bit sketchy, and he has maintained his innocence. So, on either way, should we be quick to judge,
Yeah, man.
So basically, he ended up being charged with felony disorderly conduct for allegedly making a false police report.
Yeah, man.
His attorney says he's innocent.
So he did say that there are some things to that is going to back up his feelings on how it really happened. But I missed the article, but they just said the Chicago PD officially said there was no evidence to support his case, and it was all a lie. So what's the brother name from Empire that supports
Terrence
him?
Howard?
Terrence Howard made his statement saying that he's supporting Jussie Smollett, and he's backing him. So
he did, but there were reports. Now I don't know if this is true or not because we weren't on set, and the media aren't isn't disclosing who these people close to the situation are.
Right.
But there are reports that Terrence Howard was one of the cast members that was upset with Jussie and asking him to just come clean, and because they're saying that he didn't believe it, to begin with, and that he's one of the people who was like having blow-ups with him. Right. And so that's why they ultimately decided to pull Jussie from the last couple of episodes of the season, because there was just too much turmoil going on, in production.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel betrayed, of course, because I backed him up through a post on IG supporting the brother, and that, it was wrong for people to attack him. Of course, of race, and also of course, gender bias of him being gay. And, I supported the brother. But I did not take down a post because I felt, let's pull back the emotion on this, because a lot of people were giving their 2 cents when it initially happened, and then when it was come to find out allegedly that he faked it and all this, and Chicago PD was saying he faked it. Every time it was the initial, again, reflexive, emotional reaction, say, "Oh my God!"
Right.
I mean, with people,
they were tearing that brother down. And, people aren't taking into consideration that it's not just him who's seeing these posts. It's his family members. He has a wonderful family that has been in the entertainment industry and other industries for years, and it seems to be upstanding family, good people, and they're dealing with this. They're being hurt by this as well. And they also maintain Jussie's innocence. And it's so funny that, everybody was tearing him down. You couldn't turn on the TV or pull up the internet without seeing his face. And, people having something to say about the case. But the moment that they said that there's evidence that the checks weren't written for anything other than training.
Exactly.
And
people were jumping on them saying, "Oh, this is how you paid them? Through a check? How you gonna pay to get yourself beat up?" And nobody knows nothing. They just going off the information that people are just
that the police
blurping on
stated. The police said that that's what the purpose of the check was, and that they had
since when people started taking
had text messages supporting that, and the text messages ended up not being a support of that. The text messages ended up being only about training.
Yeah, but since when do people all of a sudden, especially Black Twitter and all this, started believing what what PDs be saying out of nowhere? Like, really, all of a sudden you gonna take their word as gospel? Like,
well, if they say that, because I have to say that too. If they say they have evidence, you think they're telling the truth, because you would think that they're not going to say they have evidence to this, and not actually have evidence to put forth.
Let me tell you something. With the historically, what Black folk has gone through in this country, we've always had Chicago PD or authorities always put forth, quote unquote, evidence to put brothers and sisters away. So sometimes,
but there's a difference between substantial evidence and actual physical evidence. And they were claiming that they had actual text messages and an actual check. That's physical evidence.
Okay, physical evidence. But again, all that evidence has to be presented in front of a court of law, in front of a judge.
Why did they release all of this to the media anyway?
Like,
they're not giving this man his due process.
You got to give him his due
whether
process.
Or not he's guilty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're not giving him his due process. They're like trying him in the media.
Exactly.
The court of public.
And court of public opinion. We know that has gone terribly wrong in the past. So my thing is, I've stepped back from it again. I played myself again, where I throw in my 2 cents, because based on what the media is saying, you know what? Let it get presented. Let him, Jussie Smollett, get his representation. If it goes as far as going to court, let the evidence be presented to a jury or to a judge. And based on that process, we'll see if he comes out guilty or not. And a lot of people have told me, it was like, well, Black people don't be treated fairly in the courts anyway. I understand. But let's just base it on the fact that there are mechanisms, a justice system put in place for people to be handled, or situations be handled in the right way, whether it's right or wrong. So I'm back out of it. Let the people in play in those circles deal with it, and then when they present the evidence, when it's ready, then let's see how we can make our own opinions on what took place. But you know what? I'm not gonna put my whole. I'm not gonna, because you know why? My thing is, we spoke about it before. In the age of the digital age and the internet and social media, now all of a sudden we have digital mobs, and all of a sudden you could throw out anything on anybody, and it doesn't even have to in any way have any evidence or anything backed up or substantive. So and all of a sudden the digital mob will crowd around it and straight up destroy someone like absolutely crush someone and their careers based on the flimsy evidence that's just or rumor that's been put out on the internet. I'm like, nah, we got to control the digital mob that takes place. It's very destructive. It can be weaponized. I could throw up a website and all of a sudden say something that has nothing to do with nothing. All of a sudden it goes through the echo chamber, and all of a sudden, oh my God, how could he or she have done that? And then it's like there's no truth to it. So we got to be very careful on what we put out, especially when it comes to social media people. And I say this, and I know some people say, oh, don't say this, don't say that. Like the recent thing with R. Kelly, right? They're saying that there were more tapes. This guy in social media, he's called Shaka Bars, like CHAKABARS. And he put up some random message, and he put R. Kelly's face on it, and down below it had statements that were made that the prosecuting R. Kelly allegedly said in the tape. And then people was like, and he said, well, if anybody agrees with the sides with R. Kelly, you getting blocked. So I know R. Kelly is a monster. Yeah, I don't care what happens to him. They can tar and feather this man for all I care. I know he's guilty. I knew he was guilty when it first came out way back in the day. But what I was trying to say to Shaka Bars, I said, you're a social media influencer, and you have to be very careful on the information that you put out. You have to be very careful because you have a great responsibility of someone that has a huge following, that when you say certain things, it could be put in a context that could cast a shadow of guilt on someone. I'm not saying anything with R. Kelly. I even said remove R. Kelly from the situation. What if it's someone that you highly respect and you look up to that's been dragged through the media, and you have people that put things out to their following or to the masses, which can sway the public opinion, and you know very well that the person may be innocent. You have to be very careful if you want to put allegedly in your statement, if you want to wait for somebody to say or make the process go through, and you can say your opinion all you want. But in this age right now, anyone could be destroyed from the with little to nothing that's being put against them.
Well,
I got trashed on social media. I got trashed because they were saying I was supporting R. Kelly and all that. Some portion of the people on IG, other people supported me, but I was like, that's not what I'm talking about. Remove the emotion out of it. Just deal with the facts at hand. But anyway, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think that Jussie Smollett's attorney really hit the nail on the head. He put out a statement saying, "Today we witness an organized law enforcement spectacle that has no place in American legal system. The presumption of innocence, a bedrock in the search for justice, was trampled upon at the expense of Mr. Smollett, and notably on the eve of a mayoral election. Mr. Smollett is a young man of impeccable character and integrity who fiercely and solemnly maintains his innocence and feels betrayed by a system that apparently wants to skip due process and proceed directly to sentencing."
Boom. And it's true.
Boom. Right.
It's true. Whether he faked it or not.
Right.
It is very true. And people be running away with information on already want to put down the guillotine on somebody's neck. Now,
yeah, this man gonna have his day in court.
This is my question to you. But this is my question to you. If it is true, what do you think should happen to Jussie?
I think he should have his day in court, and he'll be in court on March 14th. I think whatever the law provides for a situation like that, I don't think anyone is above the law, and you have your day in court, and if you're found guilty, whatever the judge or the jury or whatever finds that they should deal with it, or you should deal with it, is on them,
Okay. I hear you, but I just want there to be some impartiality and objectivity. Now, if you're gonna go as far as putting on this process as people should deserve. And if he, whatever it comes from it, and he gets the say the judgment put on him based on these on these fake this show that he put on. Now everybody else that calls the police, you know what I'm talking about, that calls the police and want to put together their own alleged allegations, charges on some alleged situations that happened to them, they should be treated in the same way. Because let's be honest, there's a bunch of white folk in this country that be calling the police on black people and put charges on black people, and it is non-existent. And all of a sudden,
whatever
it
happened
finds
to the lady
out
who called the police on those guys who were just having a barbecue in the park or something, you know?
Boom. Any charges brought on them, because there's a whole book of this information, and through the decades of American society of white folks just calling police on black people and whatever, and all of a sudden they find out they was lying, and they just walk away whistling Dixie like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I lied, and they go about their business. Now, a lot of it, because it is Jussie Smollett, it is amped up because he's a celebrity. He's a guy on Empire. So there's reasons why you have to have the theatrics around Jussie Smollett. But this is, I'm telling you, this is a prime situation for people to use on how you handle situation when people call the cops and it's faked, and where you have the, what do you call it? The, not the contradiction. What's the word I'm looking for? Man, why I say these words all the time, everybody know me, where you have there's two sides to a story, where if the person that's speaking on a case is black, all of a sudden you have a heavy anvil of charges brought onto you if you're lying. But yet if you're white, all of a sudden you get a smack on the wrist and nothing at all, and you walk away. So we got to deal with that. I think the Jussie Smollett case in itself brings that to light, or brings it forward, and okay, and tells the American people, how are we going to handle this? How are we going to deal with this? Because I could bring out all the receipts where this
and all
has been
these
done.
lawsuits and things they're talking about, possibly, charging against him or whatever, because he used the police forces resources and everything, and the manpower and all the hours and everything that they use to try to solve the case. I'm like, okay, but why don't you put the effort towards any other case? Is it because it's not a rich person and you can't potentially go after them? You know what I mean? And
it's also an economics thing, whether you're rich and poor. So, but yeah, if Jussie Smollett is guilty, yeah, fool, you an idiot. Fool, you a straight blockhead. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? What did you want to come
There's
out
no
of
defense
this?
for that. There just isn't. And I've been praying, like, Lord, please don't let this be true. But you can't make something that's true not true. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, please don't let this be true.
Man, that hurt my heart. But yeah, I'm like, here we go. I supported this dude, and he's straight.
I know.
Numbskull. Anyway. So our second song is from a brother named Tota Shakur. He's coming out of the Bay Area. I saw him on his IG handle, and it led me to his YouTube channel with the song called Been Up. You got to check this out. Great song, but also check out the YouTube channel when you can. So we're coming with Tota Shakur, Been Up.
How many times I sit and watch my people die? One too many. How many times can I load up and roll up and kill my own kind? One too many. Whoa, that change don't come. And no, there'll be no place to run.
Listen up. Turn up.
You're listening to GCOM Radio.
And they tell me I'm hopeless before I believe it. Not many times we gon' sit in they churches worshiping they Jesus. 'Cause been down. Yeah, been up, been down. Evolution of a rebel, revolution to the devil. Ay, ay. Cut ties with your pedal. Now my foot on the pedal, skirt, skirt. Mama need my help, Papa need my time. Revolution in my heart, daughter on my mind. I can't leave it in this world alone with nothing but these songs and nothing but these memories of me singing about the enemy. So whoa, that change gon' come.
How many times can I sit and watch my people die?
One too many.
How many times can I load up and roll up and kill my own kind?
One too many.
Why? Been up and down. I've been up and down.
We blackbird, we fly, we phoenix, we fire, we magic, we matter, we here, we strong.
This is GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. Come join, be a Lyfer. Practice dollar power and build financial independence.
Okay, we have returned. Running up here with another segment of the show. I'm gonna quick here and adjust my mic. Sometimes I be peeking and I don't know why, because I got a loud ass mouth. All right.
You really do have a loud mouth.
I know, man. I hear all the time, and I think I'm a very, have a quiet demeanor, very, reserved. Be like, man,
I
you
find
mad
so
loud.
too, but people tell me I talk loud.
Me and you both. I'm like, where?
And I try to understand how that makes sense, because they also say that I am an eloquent speaker, and I'm like, okay, an eloquent speaker talks loud. Like, I don't know.
I just go with it. I'll be like, what else?
Whatever.
All right, so we're gonna go into this talk with the infamous Michael Cohen hearing.
Yes.
So we had Michael Cohen come up there and pretty much what he was supposed to do was spill the tea on the illegal actions and methods of President Trump. And it was on February 27th, and it was in front of the committee, a bunch of Republicans and Democrats questioning him.
Yeah, the House Oversight and Reform Committee.
Right. Exactly. And the chairman of the House was Elijah Cummings, Democrat out of Maryland. And he was pretty much supposed to spill the tea and divulge some receipts on the perjury that he was charged with in previous court hearings. And, again, this was kind of like a movie, and I can't wait for this movie to come out. And some people don't want to, but you have to say this is one beautiful movie that eventually would get out there from any production house. I can see it. Just like how Vice came out about, ex-president George Bush and Dick Cheney, and that won the awards. I see a movie coming out with this. Man, it's filled with everything. Drama.
Well, not only you. Michael Cohen apparently does, because they tried to get him to say on record that he wouldn't in the future do any type of movie or documentary. They tried to get him to say on record, and he said, no, I cannot say that.
Nah, because he's going to get some money out of this one.
Yes. They tried to get him to say he wouldn't do that, and he wouldn't write a book.
Yeah,
And he said, I cannot say that.
Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm writing my book.
Yeah, I'm not finna do that.
Now, the thing was, it was kind of like a movie, because you see the trailer come out, and the trailer's supposed to be, okay, this is what the movie's going to be. It's supposed to build up anticipation and hype so you can rush to the theaters and see this 2.5-hour epic drama. But I don't know. After this Cohen hearing, to me, it was just a lot of duds. Speaking on things.
You thought so?
Well, look, I thought.
Well, see, I felt like, they had already deemed him a liar, because he that's why he's going to jail or to prison for lying,
Perjury.
For perjury. Yeah. So basically, everything he tried to say, you're a liar. How should we believe you? How do we know if you're lying then or you're lying now? Whatever. But he said, don't believe me, believe the documents. The documents aren't lying.
Okay.
So, a lot of the things I feel like that were up in the air, the people were questioning, everyone saying that they don't have any proof that Donald Trump knew anything about, the whole payment with Stormy Daniels and the other lady. They don't have any proof that, about, the lies that he's told about his finances, and
the Trump,
things like that.
The Russian connection and
and which Cohen still didn't have proof about the Russian connection, but he did have checks, proving that Donald did know about the payment to Stormy Daniels and the other lady. I'm trying to think of the other lady's name. I can't think of it right now.
I know who you're talking about.
Jeez.
I just see right here in this article that Stormy Daniels pay off. I forgot the name.
I can't. It's not coming to me. But
yeah, go ahead.
They have those canceled checks that he did pay him back, and one of them was made during the time that he was president to reimburse for the the hush money for his alleged affairs, with these people.
But they also brought up the situation with the Trump towers that he was allegedly trying to work out with some that Russian deal over there after he was elected president. And if so, is he still in some way connected, which could say that this is why you could be a stooge for the Russians, because you're trying to get your Trump tower built in Russia, blah blah blah. But again, there was no smoking gun, there was no the audience gasp moment. If there was a lot of stuff that was
because there were things
that was pretty much, he was like, yeah, I lied, but I'm gonna tell you what Trump is about. Racism, okay, fine. Is he a bad person character-wise? Yeah, we all know that, fine. But where is the smoking gun? And to me, the only person, one of the key people that kind of painted Cohen and Trump into that corner was Alexandria or Ocasio-Cortez, where in her questioning of Cohen, she pretty much laid out a roadmap to subpoena Trump's tax returns and asking Cohen from certain articles that were posted in the past about his questionable dealings. And people know about that, what was going on. And she also got him to name the people that knew of these dealings that was going on at the time, that involved his tax returns, and pretty much laid it out where people, and when they do this and continue with this investigation, they know who to subpoena, they know where to kind of turn the stones over and the rocks over to get what they need to get some kind of traction going on with either impeachment or having him charged after he gets after he steps down after 2020, if he doesn't become president again. Now, this is my thing. I understand. How should I say this? I really don't care about anything as far as is questioning his character. We all know he's a smarmy businessman. We all know he's mixing up being a CEO as a president and as being president, a person that serves the public or the American people. We all know what he's trying to do, and you can't run a government like it's a dictatorship based on the past. Now, Stormy Daniels saying, do I really care? I don't really care. When they came out with Stormy Daniels and he paid,
I don't think anyone cares, but I think it's still, and the reason why they brought it up, and the reason why I think Cummings wanted him to be there, is to show that even because they were trying to say things occurred before, while the election period, and while he was president, he actually paid money.
But is this an impeachable offense? That's why I bring it up. Is it an impeachable offense to say that?
I'm not a politician.
Right.
Apparently, they think that it's important enough, because otherwise, why would they bring it to the forefront? And why would they want to have this hearing so bad? Because they wanted to take that question out of there. A lot of people were saying, it's up in the air, this and that, another. Now dude can bring forth evidence. He's had his law license taken. He's no longer his attorney and all that stuff. And you know, he's just spilling the beans. So things that he wasn't able to put out there before, he's putting it out there now. Okay, this is proof. Everybody's speculating on whether or not Trump did it, and a lot of people, you know, believe that he did, but you can't prove it. And the man keeps saying that he didn't.
Yeah, but in the history of presidents, we all know there's some. You could question the character of a lot of past presidents, like Lyndon B. Johnson.
We're not talking about past presidents right now. We're talking about this president that we have in office right now. We can't go back and fix something that happened back then.
No, but what I'm saying is the reason why I bring it up is because when you bring up these things that puts his character on the stand and say, "Oh my God, he's a bad person. He cheated on his wife with Trump and all these." What did Michael Cohen know?
I don't care that he cheated with her.
Right.
Him writing that check, paying for hush money. I don't care what the incident was.
Okay.
Him writing that check, paying for hush money while he is president is not. I don't know if it's illegal. I can't remember the terminology, but I watched the hearing.
Right.
For whatever reason, that is significant.
Right.
That he did that.
Okay. Now
it's not just about caring whether or not he did. I don't care who he slept with either.
Right.
We all know almost all presidents, and I would hope Obama didn't. I don't think he did, but we know almost all presidents then got around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't care about that.
Right.
What I do care about was, did he do something illegal while he is president? And that's why Cummings wanted Cohen to be there.
I think we need that list. The American people need that list. What is an impeachable offense as being a sitting president, and what can lead to?
I don't think it just always has to be impeachable. You know what I mean? I think it's about the law. Like the president, in some instances, he can't be. I mean, I'm not in some instances. Well, yeah, in some, you can't press charges against him and do certain things while he is the president.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you can prove that he is doing things that illegal or he should not be doing while he is president.
Right. That's why
what we doing.
That's why I like when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez pretty much was laying out to the people, okay, let's get to his tax returns, because a lot of things are hidden in your tax returns, especially in the illegal business that he's been doing. Like you can't say you bought this property you for $20 million and you're selling it under the price for $2 million, some absurd number. Like, what are you trying to hide? Where is your money being allocated? These things, these things that can and they be connected to him and to his children doing these illegal business deals that can possibly undermine or compromise his position as president. Is he building that tower?
Well, I think that's why Cohen brought up some of those documents that he did bring in. I don't know that they specifically address taxes, but it shows where he was inflating his income in some places and deflating his income in other places. Like he was inflating it so that he could be put high on the list for Forbes. And then he would deflate it. You know, I guess that was for tax purposes. Right. You know, when it came to something that he was building or real estate or something. Right. Yeah,
a certain real estate deal that he had in Florida, one of the homes that he grossly underpriced in order on, excuse me, and I could be wrong, and I will check up on that information. Anybody out there, check me on that, where I think he artificially inflated the price of a home and sold it to some Russian business figure that was also a billionaire. And that's ways where you can kind of wash money or give money to people in a quote unquote legal way, so you can get some other work or other business dealings taken care of. So all these little details, I think you can set out a map to see where Trump is can be compromised when it comes to dealing with Russian oligarchs indirectly tied to Putin, and how this can be a serious problem for the interests of America, the United States. So that's what I was trying to see what I could key into the hearing. As far as so from what I understand, the Republicans were trying to assassinate his character, saying he's been a liar
they do like they always do.
They do like they always do.
They all find one thing that they feel like, because they feel like, and I hate to say this about our people, well, their people, because you know they're saying this for their Republicans' good, I guess.
Right.
They find this one key thing that they feel like all Republicans are gonna hold on to.
Right.
They don't care about any evidence or anything.
Right.
They just want, okay,
they're protecting
we need
Trump.
to say that he's a liar.
Right.
And we need to just drill that in. We need to drill in the fact that he's a liar and to sway people away from seeing the facts.
Right.
That's
right.
So they think that their constituents, so they think that their people are stupid.
Right.
And I mean, Trump pretty much already said that. He said that years ago that if he would run for president, it would be for Republican because they're stupid.
Yo, you cannot make this up. Like, he says these
Right.
things.
Yes.
Trump says these things like literally where you like a year ago. He'll say literally a month ago and then flip the coin onto something else. And he said, "Oh, I never said that." I'm like, how do these Trump followers not? But it's just more than that. With these, to me, I think it's a cult following. To them, it's not about him telling the truth or lies. It's about what he's not saying.
Oh, because most of them don't tell the truth.
Okay.
So.
And right. So I think, and apart from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, she just has a long name, AOC. Apart from AOC, I just didn't see anything that I've read in articles where Democrats was kind of like throwing those darts to hit the bullseye with Michael Cohen. And I thought it was, from what I did see from the hearing and the articles that I read, to me, I felt that it fell flat and there was no actual
No. Well, did you watch the actual hearing?
some of the hearing. I just didn't catch all of it, and I'm trying to catch up with
I watched it all, and I thought that they brought up some really good points. Again, what the media is going to report and what the Republicans kept referring back to, to try to discredit him is what I think is masking some of what they were able to accomplish there. But I think everybody is in agreement that closing statement.
Yeah,
that Cummings had.
Right.
Oh wow!
I listened to Cummings' closing statement, and he's right. Preserving democracy, and if they don't get this right, it will. Well, you know what? Even that is arguable because there are a lot of questionable things in America's past that people would say, "Well, America been tainted," right? But at the same time, to me, if you tarnish the surface or the face of democracy and toss it aside like any throwaway item, any candy wrapper, then the illusion disappears of objectivity and fairness.
Right.
And if the growing masses see that, or is convinced that the only thing that exists there is the illusion and not any substantial concrete belief in the system that has been made since 1776, then that would be a problem for America. So did
you know that they made him shut down Trump Foundation? I didn't know that.
I think I do remember that. Yeah, I think I did.
It was shut down in December.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, again, this dude ain't. Yo,
they said
he's a straight
because the
snake
Attorney
oil
General,
salesman. Yo, go ahead.
Attorney General Barbara Underwood. Alleged that the foundation was being used, quote, as little more than a checkbook to serve Mr. Trump's business and political interests.
Exactly. He was using that to just funnel money through for his own business interests. Yo, this dude is mad. Well, okay, this, and I also said on Twitter, investigative journalism needs to come back in 2019 because a lot of people have some op-ed pieces, and again, it's the same thing when we talk about with Jussie Smollett. It doesn't really get down to the meat and potatoes of illegal dealings of any political figure. It just talks about what they feel, and then the people kind of agree with them, and it sways that mass opinion. We need to bring back investigative journalism, but the problem with investigative journalism is you might find that there's more people in bed with illegal activity than and people at the highest heights. That's why I think it's almost like a theater that I feel sometimes when it comes to the political process as we see it, because it may not be just Trump. It may be a lot of other people that people do believe in and feel they're of good moral and ethical standing, that it turns out that they've been doing the same underhanded business across seas and right here, and then you don't want to turn over that stone. That's why I feel like sometimes it's like, Is
Then
he
I think it's
that
about
much different from the rest
who
of the
reports it first. I think people are so thirsty and want to be the one to, first report it. They're not trying to dig deep to get the truth.
Right.
They're trying to just get something enough out there to be the first person to report something. So, they don't care nothing about, you know what I mean?
Right.
Getting all the information. They care about getting just enough, in order to be the first to report it.
And maybe that's so. Maybe just corner that information enough where you could just leave Trump exposed. And be like, see, that is messed up. Get him out of here. But because I don't know. Like I said, there's some definite flaws and rot within our political system, especially when it comes to Citizen United versus the Supreme Court, where anyone or company can make Citizen United versus the Supreme Court is that any company can make any amount of donation to a political figure anonymously in any campaign process. That's the Citizen United, and they won. And now any company can anonymously donate X amount of dollars for their own interests. So I think that one particular thing is a problem with where this country is going when it comes to the democratic process or upholding democracy. But there's a lot more to go, and I can't wait for this Mueller investigation report to come out, and we're gonna see how it goes. All right, we're gonna get out of here and go into our next song. What that song is, I really leave it like that.
Let me guess. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but seriously though, this song is from Lydia Caesar, Through It All. She's coming out of Queens, New York. Hot song. Yeah, man. Listen to this one. It's a banger.
There will be devastation. There's gonna be tragedy. Lovers losing their passion all around us every day. There will be distractions trying to lead us astray, and popular opinion telling us that it's okay if we go through madness. Will you hold me down? Heartbreak and sadness. I just gotta know, will you stick around? I want one guarantee. I need you to love me through it all. Even when you're angry, I need you to love me through it all. Ain't gonna always be easy. I need you to love me through it all. No matter what, I need you to love me.
Ooh, a G-Con exclusive.
Want you to know that I'm enough. And if the darkness tries to consume our love, I need us to light it up. If we go through madness, will you hold me down? Heartbreak and sadness. I just gotta know, will you stick around? Here's what I want one guarantee. I need you to love
Okay, y'all. We're back, man. We're back. Listening to some good music. So, just a little bit of quick news for you guys on some things that I saw. Samsung is opening its first 3 stores in the United States to take on Apple's 270. Their first 3 stores is in New York, Los Angeles, and Houston. And they're releasing the new Galaxy S10 smartphone and its first foldable phone. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's funny. I was looking online on the specs of this new smartphone that Samsung got. Yo, I'm telling you, Samsung is killing the game, man. They are killing the game, and it was Apple iPhone at one point, and I'm always loyal. I don't know what you want to call it, loyalty or just laziness, but you know, I'm just an Apple fan from the computers to the phone. But Samsung is killing the game. And where Apple led the industry, the phone industry, as far as the non-button only touchscreen, and they kind of revolutionized that with smartphones, Samsung is revolutionizing it as far as the tech inside the phone. Like, there's no denying that smartphones are computers. And big ups to Samsung for their new joint. What phone you got, La?
BlackBerry. I've always been a fan of BlackBerry. I can't let it go.
Y'all, she's still rocking.
Why do people keep saying that like BlackBerry is ancient? My BlackBerry is new. They just made a new. They're continuing to make BlackBerries, and they have morphed BlackBerries into Android. So my phone is part Android, part BlackBerry. I still have my keypad that I love because I don't like the touch screen pad.
Put in the quarter. Put in the quarter to make a phone call.
Anyways, this phone is amazing. Just because y'all are corny and don't, you know.
Is there a string that you connect to the other BlackBerry?
My phone is a brand new phone. It just was manufactured 2 years ago. They have an even newer one, but I don't like touchscreen typing. I just don't, because it takes me too long.
What? Yo, the BlackBerry's like Nintendo 64 still making Nintendo.
It's not. I mean, when was the last time you bought a BlackBerry?
Never. I never bought a BlackBerry.
So shut up talking about it. It's like me talking about iPhones and I never bought one.
Yo, I
can say the same junk about iPhones. I never bought one.
All right, but I'm saying though, I could just see, like, you know, like I said, the Samsung's killing the game. Android, like, there are a lot of other phones that's like blows BlackBerry out the water, like sinks it to the bottom depths of the Pacific Ocean.
In your opinion, you've never had one, so how do you know?
Because I've seen it.
How you seen it? Have you ever physically used a BlackBerry?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it, I touched it, but you far as
you don't know
using
what the capabilities are. You didn't even know they just manufactured a new one, so you don't know.
Yo, just admit it, girl. That phone is like ancient.
Okay,
that goes back in
whatever. So it's a Samsung. Samsung came out before BlackBerry, didn't it?
Yeah, but it's still killing the game. It's ahead of the game.
And so it's evolving and it's making new phones, right?
Oh,
that's what BlackBerry is doing.
Yo, wasn't there?
And it's older than BlackBerry. Thank you.
But hold on, didn't BlackBerry say they was going to discontinue they smartphone business and just center on software?
But they didn't. Well, that's how they ended up morphing into. They combined it with an Android. It's a BlackBerry and an Android.
Yeah, all right. Yo, the other news is BMW and Daimler invest $1 billion in new car venture for the next generation services. So this new joint venture is going to have 5 strands. One is called Reach Now, a smartphone based on route management and booking services. Charge Now, expanding electric car charging. Free Now for taxi ride hailing. Park Now, dedicated to offering parking services. And Share Now for car sharing. And they say Daimler and BMW has admitted that it's likely that cars in cities across America and also the world will eventually be shared use electric machines that will drive themselves and can be summoned at the touch of a smartphone. Look at that. That's a beautiful thing. And I can't wait. Tesla just released their Model 3 and it's basically a cheaper version. It's $35,000, I think, is a base model. I seen it on the streets recently. People are starting to get it because it's a new design, and it's just now coming off the production lines, and people that ordered it before are finally getting their Model 3s. And look at that. Listen, you see, they were... The car industry is trifling because they was destroying, or they're attempting to destroy Tesla. And look at it now, where they're pretty much like how Apple was when they first came out with their touchscreen phones and revolutionized the phone industry. Now you have all the major car companies are finally saying, yeah, well, we should start doing that too. So big ups to Elon Musk for, sticking to his guns. And just like how I'm a Apple fan, regardless how, I'm telling you, Samsung is calling me what they're doing, but I'm always like an Apple fan. And it's the same way with Tesla. I'll always be a Tesla fan. They have a new electric car out called Faraday Future, and pretty much they're trying to move it in the same direction as Tesla. But now it's like a little bit too late. All the major car companies are doing it now, and look at that. That's crazy. Okay, so we're gonna go
Move it along before I turn on my fan because it's hot as sin in here.
Yo, she got a fan.
In
the wintertime, it's too hot. She got the fan on.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, as you know, as people know, a lot comes in from Ohio, and she hot in her room, so she got the fan on when we go off air. And now let me go. What's the story we talking about? Let me go on to our next story. Oh yeah, the boom. Jordyn, the whole Khloe Kardashian thing with Jordyn.
Yeah.
I'll let you take that one. You take the head on that one.
You don't let me take the head on that one?
I mean, I'm saying the lead. You know what I mean?
Well, basically, I mean, everybody already knows the situation. I'm quite sure. Khloe Kardashian and her wonderful baby daddy, Tristan Thompson, had a little drama going on because he decided that it would be a good idea to make out with her sister's best friend, Jordyn Woods. And it has been nothing but drama because Kylie and Jordyn were really close friends. Like, they've been friends for years, to the point that Jordyn actually lived in her guest house. They did almost everything together. Yeah, they're just really close. But business-wise, everything, the girls been close to their family. They actually met through Jaden Smith. Jaden and Jordyn have been friends since they were like toddlers. And Jordyn and Jaden went to the same school with Kylie, and Jaden introduced Kylie and Jordyn, and it just was like, love is at first sight, best friends. And so now you have this situation, where this is what Jordyn said. She was on Red Table Talk. I love that show with Jada Pinkett Smith, and where Jada feel like, all three families have been affected by this because, they're really close. And basically, Jordyn was saying, hey, they all were out kicking it. Tristan just happened to be there, and she said, like they always do, you kick it, then you move to one spot or whatever. And usually after the kick it spot, everybody decides they're going to somebody else's house. And they ended up, she said, yeah, of course, because it's something that they always do. She's not thinking it's anything wrong. And even though it was Tristan's house, she still wasn't feeling like there was anything wrong about that, because they always do that. When they leave the party spot, they go to somebody else's house to carry the party on. And, that's where all the rumors and stuff start happening. She said nothing, happened or occurred. She doesn't understand where people were saying that she was giving him a lap dance. I didn't even know that it was rumors that she had given him a lap dance, though. But apparently she was saying she was sitting on the arm of the chair, and he was sitting on the end where she was at, sitting on the arm of the chair. And she kind of had her legs lapped over his bottom part of his legs. Not over his lap, but her legs, she was turned in towards him, and her legs were like crossed over the bottom part of his legs. She said her butt never touched him. It was on the arm of the couch, you know, and they were never hugged up or anything like that. So she said that's the only thing that she could think that people got that rumor from and tried to say, oh yeah, she was giving him a lap dance. And she's saying there was no hooking up or anything like that, where people were saying certain things. She said they were never like whispering in each other's ears, whispering sweet nothings and things like that. Everybody was joking and laughing. It was a group of people that were never alone. She's saying, you know, when they decided to leave, which happened to be 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, she says she's getting ready to leave, and Tristan's like, no, you can stay or whatever. She said, no, you know, I'm gonna go. And he kissed her on the mouth.
He kissed her. Just what, people were there, like seeing this? How did this come out?
She was getting ready to walk out the door, and he was like, you leaving? And she's like, yeah. And he told her that she didn't have to leave, she could stay. And she said, no, I'm gonna go or whatever. My car is here or whatever. She's fine, because, you know, she had been drinking or whatever, but she, unlike the report said, she was never blackout drunk. You know, she had been drinking, and she was drunk at some point.
Though. Yeah, she was nice.
Yeah. But she said, no, I'm gonna go. And he kissed her, and he happened to kiss her on the mouth. Now, she said that, you know, there was nothing going further. She immediately went out the door because she was kind of thinking to herself, did that just happen? She said she was just kind of like taken aback. You know what I mean? And, you know, she had left, and I guess when she went back to the house, and she was talking to Chloe and Kylie, and they were asking her, you know, what happened or whatever, anything went down, and she was like, nothing, you know, nothing went down. Tristan was cool, everybody cool, we just hung out, da 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 da. She didn't mention the kiss, but she said that she didn't want to break Chloe's heart, and it was nothing, you know, even though it weirded her out, and she felt uncomfortable about it. She didn't feel like it was anything that she needed to report to Chloe. Right. And, you know, that was a mistake. She should have said it then. She should have been honest, because now it's hard for them to believe anything, you know?
Right.
Right. And she acknowledged that, hey, she said, I feel like I never shouldn't have even been there. I never should have put myself in that situation. When I found out the party was going to be at Tristan's house, I shouldn't have gone, you know? So that's her side of the story. And she's saying the only reason why she came out to talk about that was because, you know, she said, she was like, you know, hey, we putting this on social media now, because I guess some of the Kardashians and some of their friends were on social media making remarks or whatever. And then, you know, the Kardashians have all these millions and millions of fans that, you know, are supportive of them. And I guess, you know, she never said who made threats or anything like that, but I guess there were threats made against her family or something. And she said at that point, she felt like it was important for her to have a voice of her own, you know, and she needed a platform where she was going to be able to speak her truth. And that's when she contacted Jada, who was, you know, like another mother to her, and Will, she calls Will Uncle Will, and she felt like, you know, they wouldn't be judgmental, and they love her because they're like family, and she knew that she would be able to come and talk to her and be able to speak her truth. She has offered to take a lie detector test. She said whatever Chloe needs her to do in order to feel comfortable about the situation, she's expect her to forgive her overnight, because she shouldn't have lied about the situation, even though she didn't initiate the kiss and didn't reciprocate it. She shouldn't have lied about the situation, and she understood that can be hurtful. But she said, you know, whatever it's going to take for Chloe to feel comfortable or to be able to forgive her, she'll do it, and and for her to understand that, you know, Jordyn's telling the truth. She said, you know, she'll take the lie detector test, whatever they need to do. And basically that's the story from Jordyn's side of it. You know, while the show was going on,
how
Chloe was tweeting apparently and saying that Jordyn was lying. You know, she's nothing but a liar, and yeah.
So how did it break though? How did it break? Like, did somebody see them?
Apparently, somebody at the party was I don't know if they were posting stuff on social media. I didn't get all of that because I was just like, oh, here we go again. I'm like, it wasn't no surprise. Everybody knew that Tristan was going to cheat again. And, you know, and first of all, Chloe, that's how you got him. You know what I mean? He cheated on somebody who he had just or who was about to have a baby. You know, he cheated with you. You
Right.
know, and you know the way you get somebody is typically the way you lose them. So you know, and then when he cheated on her and she was about due to have their baby, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna happen again. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and that doesn't take away from the sympathy that I have for, or the empathy that I have for Chloe, because it is truly heartbreaking when you are, you know, genuinely in love with someone and they just can't be faithful, you know?
So then who's for here? Because a lot of people were tossing the stones at Jordyn Woods, and you know she upset in a happy home.
Yeah, it seems like the whole thing with the Scarlet Letter, they forget about the guy, and even though he initiated it, and again, that's why Jordyn wanted to tell her story, you know, because she has a wonderful relationship with Kylie. They're best of friends. Like, why would she do that? Why would anybody in their right mind? And Tristan, you know, okay, Tristan is not a bad looking man. He's a cutie. But he's not no Denzel. He's not no Morris Chestnut. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna mess up my relationship, you know, with one of my best friends over him. You know what I mean? And you know that this man is a cheater.
How do you deal with this?
And you know, yeah, like, so.
So how you deal with this? If you Chloe, you blaming both Jordyn and Tristan, right? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, no.
You're Chloe,
See,
you gonna blame both.
Okay, I would have a problem with Jordyn because she shouldn't have had herself in the situation. And she should have been honest. So I would have a problem with being able to trust her. But again, I would also understand that though she has a relationship with me by way of her relationship with my sister, she's not my best friend. She's my sister's best friend, right? So, you know, while I would be disappointed in her or whatever, I wouldn't be encouraging my sister, don't be this girl's best friend. That's her best friend. You know, don't be her best friend. Don't have her around me, this and that and other. I mean, for a time, I wouldn't want to be around her. I mean, you could bring her around, but I can't be responsible for what I might say to her. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that I would go to the levels that Chloe has done unless I knew that she has slept with him. Now, that's a totally different thing. That's a different kind of betrayal.
They're saying they already slept
She's
together,
saying that's not the case. Allegedly. She's saying it's not true. She's saying they can get her phone records, look at, you know, any text messages and all that stuff. She said there's never been anything that happened between them. There's never been any canoodling, any making out, any sex, nothing. I mean, Jada came flat out asked her, did you have sex with Tristan? And she said no. Never have I ever, and never will I.
Right. I mean, I don't expect her to say yes if she did.
I mean,
you know what I mean? She's got to keep her, you know, she's got to keep.
So,
you know,
I mean, I would hope that her wanting to come forward and be on that platform with Jada and understanding who Jada and Will are, and understanding that the purpose that Jada did allow this show was so that she can be truthful and honest and just put it all on the table and then get your forgiveness. I would think under those conditions that she would be honest, you know?
Is Chloe going she made up with Tristan, or what's good with that?
I mean, reports are, because Chloe hasn't spoken about it, reports are that she don't plan on ever getting back with him. Of course, she has to be in communication and stuff when they have a child together, you know?
Yeah, but but you know, she could be like, all right, you just need to take care of your parental.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then she has to communicate with him. They have a child together.
Oh, in that sense, right. Well, you know what? Hey, man, like my one of my connections on Facebook was like, I will never date a Jamaican man. I guess Tristan is Jamaican. So I was like, what? Come on, stop playing. Because I have some family goes to Jamaica. Like, I think, like they say my grandfather is from Jamaica and came over. Something like that. So I'm like, come on. So I'm laughing it off. But listen, I saw the opening of Red Table Talk, and they got Will on it, and Will gave his opinion on the whole situation, just to give his support, emotional support. But I take it like this: she was drinking, she's young, she's 21 or something, like real 20. Like, you know what? Women and also men make those type of mistakes in their young years in life. and she must have really had a crush on Tristan and put herself in a position.
So
where
you're saying
people
she did
saw
it.
this.
You're saying they slept together.
You know what? I wouldn't put. I'm gonna segue. I want to put it past Tristan, yo, because he just has.
I wouldn't put it past
You know what I
Tristan,
mean?
but I'm having a hard time believing, knowing the nature of her relationship with Kylie, how much they love each other, how much he loves Kylie's daughter, how much she loved the
Yeah, but
family.
it was at his crib.
You know.
It was at his crib. He got money. He has
So
notoriety.
what?
He's a basketball
She
player.
is the best friend with a billionaire.
Yo,
with
that don't
Kylie
matter.
Jenner. She's around all kind of celebrities. She's around Will Smith. Like, who is
Well,
Tristan
I
compared
know.
to all the people she's had access to?
Hey! I know she young and dumb. She
I
has
don't
some
care.
liquor in
It
the
ain't that much
system.
young
She
and dumb
probably-
as
he was
Tristan.
probably-
It's not all that for somebody to risk all
Yeah,
of
he
that.
was probably he was probably ogling that from across the room. He was like, "Damn, she fine." All right, nah, man, I ain't gonna do it right here. No, chill. And she was at the crib. She was chilling with her friends, and at the end of the night, he was like, "Yo, I mean, you can stay though." And he went for the gusto. Now that's dirtbag business. That's dirt. I mean, look, listen, man. Look, you gonna do what you gonna do. I don't know where you at, what city you from. If y'all don't think basketball players and football players don't do their thing,
I think
to the
they
women,
do their thing,
that's your
but
business.
I don't
That's
think
your prerogative.
that he can pull the wool over the eyes.
Well, let me
No,
say this.
let me finish what I'm
Let me say
saying.
this.
I don't feel like
The way-
he can pull the wool over the eyes of, just because she's young. I don't think he can pull the wool over the eyes of someone like Jordyn, who's been around people way more famous than him, that she could have googly eyes for, who has access
Takes
to
two
so
to
many
tango.
people. She's a gorgeous girl. You know what I mean? So it's no.
Takes two.
I don't care. What does that mean? That means so you're saying because somebody throw themselves at her, she gonna sleep with anybody?
Hey, she.
So you
could've
saying
said
she's
no.
a hoe? That's what you're saying?
I ain't saying she a hoe.
That's basically what you're saying. You're
she
saying,
was
oh,
a
he
I ain't
tried to
saying
talk
she
to-
was.
she
You
just-
no, you jumping it there. I ain't
That's
saying
what
no,
you're
she was a
basically
hoe.
saying.
All I said was she had liquor in the
So
system.
what?
She thought Tristan was cute. She was chilling on the chair with him, flinging a leg. However,
that's your
somebody
version
thought she
on
was
it.
giving
That's
a
your
lap
version
dance.
of it.
She
But
was
her
too
version of it is
close.
her
Wait, hold
version
on a
of it
second.
is-
Close for hold on. They was flirting all night. They was doing what they had to do. At the end of the night, when she was like, "Yo, listen, it was morning time. Yo, I gotta break out." He was like, "Nah, you ain't got to go, girl." And knowing what he wanted to do, all the while people was around him, they was chilling, and then he went in for the kill, and she reciprocated. She could have been like, "Nah, don't do that. What's wrong with you?
You ain't never had somebody
kiss
kiss you that you didn't want to kiss you.
Come on, that's right. So she went in.
You
she
ain't never had
reciprocated.
somebody
She
kiss
went in
you
with a,
that you did not want to kiss.
Okay, so she wanted
Ask
to
the
kiss.
question. Answer the question. You
What?
never had someone
Answer what?
kiss you that you did not want to kiss.
Yeah. There was some situations that happened, and I was like, "Yo, chill, we can't do this."
She
I've
said
had it
she
happen.
might not have said anything to him. She said she immediately walked out the door. She said she had to go, and
That's
she
a lie.
immediately
She
walked
lied.
out the door. Hey, that's what you believe, but this is what the girl said. You went there. Don't nobody know what happened but her and Tristan.
So again, so you saying in a matter of innocence, let's say everything was innocent, everything was flowing smooth. So you mean to tell me that when she walked out the house and was saying bye to her friends, whoever was there, and to Tristan, and Tristan went in, she was like, no, and just walked on out. I can't do that. And she went
So
about
you
her business.
apparently not listening to
So
what
you
I
mean
said.
all this is just based on
listen.
like an innocent
You don't listen. See,
pet?
you
Okay, what you saying?
you get your version of what you think, your opinion, in your head, and that's all you see. You don't care what nobody else say, what anybody else think. The girl said that the man, she told him she was leaving, and he said, "You don't have to leave, you can stay." And she said, "No, I have my car. I'm good. I'm gone." Everybody, it was other people walking out the door at the same time she was walking out the door. And the people had walked out the door, and he said, can I finish my thought?
Okay, got it.
And he stopped her, and he said, okay. She said she was leaving. He went in. She might have thought he was just going to hug her. And he kissed her on the lips. She didn't say he tongued her down. He kissed her on the lips. And she kind of was in shock a little bit, was taken aback, and was like, all right, does this really just happen? And she turned around and immediately went out the door. She didn't say nothing to him. She didn't address the situation. She didn't stop and talk to nobody else and say, yo, this dude just kissed. She immediately walked out the door, got in her car, and dipped. That's her story.
Yeah. Well, you know what? All this just off of an advance that was knocked down and she kept it moving.
It has happened.
All right.
It has happened. Just because somebody kissed you
something
don't mean you get all fire crotch and like, okay, let's hop into bed. Like, it doesn't happen like that.
All right. We'll see what happens.
She said at no point was she blackout drunk. She remembers everything that occurred, even though she was drinking.
All right.
And she says
so this
nothing
is totally blown
happened.
out of proportion. And nothing happened. This is all blown out of proportion. All right, gotcha. Totally innocent. Well, not on Tristan's part, but you know, it was just like it was a fleeting moment.
Where
she
was wrong,
what are you doing?
And she admits it, is that when they asked her if anything went down at the house or whatever, she said no. That's where she went wrong. Instead of trying to protect Chloe's feelings, she should have said, well, Tristan kissed me before I left. And even if she didn't feel comfortable saying it to Chloe, if I was her, I probably might have said it to Kylie, because that's my best friend. I would have been like, yo, Kylie, can I talk to you? Man, Tristan kissed me on the lips. Should I say something to Chloe? See, that's where it gets a little suspect for me, because if you're best friends, I think I would have, but that's me. She's younger or whatever. Maybe, you know, I would have said something to my best friend. Listen, your sister's dude kissed me on the lips. It might have just been something little innocent. Maybe he kissed everybody like that. I don't know. I felt uncomfortable. I don't know if that's something I should tell Chloe. What do you think? And I think the position that Jordyn is in right now would be totally different if she had just spoke up about it.
Man, look, I know what I did see when I saw Will Smith's face giving him emotional support. I know a piece of him is saying, "Oh Lord, I gotta get pulled into this."
No, Will Smith looked like he was concerned,
Lord,
and he looked like he was like, "You should clear the air and you should speak up." He's like,
he was supporting up,
he's
but
like,
I know
we all make mistakes, and you have to own them.
In his mind,
and you have to live through it, and you just need to know it's going to be okay after this. You know what I mean? That's all you have to know, is it's going to be okay, because the internet's been killing her. People been killing her. She's losing business deals.
What?
She lost her best friend. Like, and
licking off
Chloe
shots
going right on. Chloe going back on right on about her life, and Tristan going on about his life, and Jordyn just like boom.
Hey man, it is what it is. It is what it is. I personally think something went down. But anywho,
you're a little perverted like that, but you know.
What?
Like why
Hey,
would she lie? Like, why are you so willing to believe that this girl just lied?
Listen, I'm not saying it's not saying so much as her, but we don't know what happened.
We don't know what's happening.
Only people that know what happened was
I'm just trying to think about it logically.
Like
this is somebody who has already. If you're talking about some random chick who get all googly eyed because they're around a celebrity or whatever, like the way that R. Kelly has put these women in trances, and because he's R. Kelly, they went ahead and did whatever they did. No, you're talking about a young lady who has been around these big name celebrities since she was in her diapers. Like, she's not about to get all starry and
right. I understand. I know, but what? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And you're gonna think that Tristan is so appealing. This guy who has cheated on a number of people.
Hey. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
It ain't nothing about beauty. I'm saying.
Hold on.
Hold on.
You don't know what.
You hold on. We're talking about somebody. We're talking about somebody. We're talking about somebody who has continuously cheated, and you think that
I know, but
she
let me
is
say
thinking,
this.
he is so appealing, and he is just so all of that I'm gonna let go and lose my friendship. Man, come on, please.
Look, I'm gonna say this. Everybody has done stupid things when they were younger. All I'm saying is they in the party, and they in the party. I don't know who's gonna be attracted. Hold on. I don't know who's going to be attracted to who, but all I do know is for someone to make a statement and say, oh, she was giving him a lap dance, and she said, no, that wasn't a lap dance. I was just sitting on the arm of the chair, moving my leg. For you to be in close proximity of Tristan says that you have this conversation or you're in his space, or you're in both each other's space.
Have you not ever? Right, see, you don't watch the show, so you don't understand. You don't understand they're all in each other's spaces. If you ever watched the show, you'd have seen that you would have seen that there has been a time when Kim has jumped on what's his name? What's her name? Was married to him, Lamar Odin's lap, and got her booty all up on him and stuff. That's your sister. What you doing with your booty all up on your sister's man? And he talking about, yo, get that thing away from me. It's like, that's just they family. They real close like that. They be in each other's space like that. Okay. So she's thinking, oh, she's been in this situation with Tristan before. She could sit next to him like they're fam. Right, cool. Like, what's the big deal? But somebody on the outside looking in is going to take it perverted and think that she's trying to get with dude when it's all fam for her.
Okay. So it's all Tristan's fault.
I'm not saying it's all nobody's fault. I'm just saying that I'm not willing to say that this girl's lying. I'm not willing to just say, oh, Tristan is all of that, so if he kiss her, she gonna get in bed with him. Like, I just don't see the logic in that. I don't care how young you are. I don't see the logic in her willing to risk everything for somebody like Tristan.
All right, but you know what? She's 20
and
21, young, and hey,
she's 21. She's young. She's been rich with rich people. She's been having responsibilities that a lot of people our age don't even have yet.
Money
at my age at 20, I wouldn't have done that, and I didn't even have the access that she has. They're attracted
to each other. But what I'm saying is, money or not, people are still going to be attracted to each other when they're in close vicinity of each other. That's it. At the end of the day,
that don't mean you have to act on it.
You're a millionaire, or you're making $30,000.
Okay, well, basically, you say shit. Okay, so Nova thinks she's lying, and I don't. That's the end of the story. I'm not saying she's lying. I'm just saying there's more to the story. I mean, that's what it boils down to. You think she's lying, and I don't. So that's just it.
Look, there's always more to the story. And
well, like I said, she said her side of the story.
It possibly could be a hey, all right, well, whatever. All right, we out of here. All right, we got a difference in opinion of that. And if you saw what's the name's face, I'm gonna leave it at this. When you saw Jada Smith's mom's face when they was just breaking to go to the red table, she was like, oh my God, we got some drama. So I'm not just saying she was siding with anybody, but she was simply saying, okay, she gonna say her side, and the other person gonna say we don't know what was going on there. At the end of the day,
but it doesn't mean that she did anything more than what she said she did, and she didn't do nothing. Okay. She didn't kiss him; he kissed her.
Okay. And on that note, folks,
innocent until proven guilty.
And innocent until proven guilty. And we out here. Thank you for listening to Two People Ramble On for this episode. And make sure, we always say at the end, check out Zaina the Brave. Go to ZainaTheBrave.com. Lyfeblood.com is there. You know, join up, be a member, be a part of this new community. And yeah, we're gonna put you guys on to some new developments as we go in the next week or so. So thanks for listening. This is GCOM Radio, host Nova Phoenix and LK Mason. Out. Thank you, LK, for putting me in my place. We out.
It's WPRD 98.3 GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com for the global community on the next go round from right here to your town.
You already know.
We out.